All right, Sunday night, you are here. It has been a crazy week. I am exhausted for obvious reasons, but tonight's going to be fun. I haven't actually talked to you since the season finale, the season 3 season finale. Remember that whole thing so long ago? It's actually not that long ago, but season 3, episode 8 was the last time we did a live stream. I didn't really want to do another one until we had something really fun, really big, and we do tonight. It's not a new episode, unfortunately. Seasons take longer to film than they do to watch. So we've got a lot of work to do here on season 4, but we are 1 week in, and gosh, so much going on, so much to show you. So first things first, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, please say something. Tell us where you're from. Type in the number 1 if you want. Ask a question, whatever it is, get that algorithm going. It starts letting people know that the live stream has begun. It starts showing up on people's feeds. You can also share this, send it to people, say, hey, time to start watching. If you're watching in the Chosen app, thank you so much for that. And here's another thing. If you have the Chosen app, please, if you wouldn't mind taking a moment, now maybe not right now, but just write this note down for yourself, put it in your calendar, to rate and review on wherever you get your apps. It really does make a difference. It gets the app in front of more people. So I know you probably hear that when you're listening to a podcast, you're like, please rate and review, and you just ignore it. Well, in this case, it really does make a difference. And the same thing is true if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, make a comment. All of those things really do add up. And we've had many people start watching the show because it came across their news feed or because the app showed up on their, when they were looking for entertainment. So that stuff really does make a difference. So thank you for that. Just takes 1 minute and just make a note to do that. By the way, we're starting to make this more known now. So what I'm about to share with you. So if you have a friend who doesn't want to watch the show for various reasons, they think it's not going to be any good because it's a Bible project, or they think they can't trust it, or it's on a new app. It feels small. What do you tell me it's free? That means it's probably not any good. Here's the thing. We are on Netflix, Peacock, Amazon Prime, Angel Studios app, PureFlix. Season 1 is actually pretty easy to find. So you can tell people that's their inroads into the show. Now, if they want to watch it, they want to watch season 3. If they want to get totally caught up, it's only on the Chosen and Angel apps right now. But this is now going to be more easy for you to tell people. So you can just say, look, just watch it on Netflix. Find it on Netflix. When you find it on Netflix, make sure you give it a thumbs up or a love or whatever. Get it in front of more people. But Netflix, Peacock, Amazon Prime, PureFlix, Angel Studios. I'm not even listing all of them, but it's much easier to find and share it with your friends. So what do we have for you tonight? Got a big announcement I want to tell you about. A very cool opportunity for you. It's a fun announcement. I promise you. I don't know if you'll take me up on it or not, but it's going to be fun, so make sure you're paying attention. We've got a video that I am really excited about. This is the main reason why you might be here. It's not an episode of a show, but it's almost as good as one. Remember the walking on water scene last year? The one that we kept private somehow for so long, for like 8 or 9 months. No one knew about it because I didn't think I was actually going to do it. When I announced it a couple of years ago, I said, I'm not doing the walking on water. Then I finally decided to do it. All of that. We did a video that captures everything about that scene, from the reasons why we ultimately decided to do it, the concept behind it, how we started working out the visual effects, the filming of it. You're going to hear from the cast and crew talking about the ups and downs of doing it. I remember when I saw the first draft of this video from one of our team members named Chris Ong, I was like, oh my gosh, this is even better than I thought it was going to be. And so we had notes and we went back and forth for a little while, but I mean, it turned out so great. I'm so excited for you to see this. So stick around for that. And then just a moment, I'm going to bring out Chris and Jelaine, your Chosen Insiders. They're going to talk about week 1. Yes. You're going to hear from some of the cast, some of the crew, what it's been like to come back. That's all I have to say. But they're going to share some highlights. They've even got a video, kind of one of their weekly recap videos that they're going to show you. So you're going to get a chance to see that. But first things first, look, I'm wearing something new. This is a hoodie. Now, you've seen this in T-shirt form. This is the Chosen World Tour hoodie on the back. In fact, quick, come in here. Okay. I'm so glad my hand stayed in the right spot and that wasn't too awkward. This is the Come and See World Tour hoodie. So you've seen it in T-shirt form. Yep, go away. But it's got our 3 fish logo here. This is where you've got the teal fish going against the current with the other 2 fish on the front. So it's not overly, it's not too busy on the front. And on the back, you see that cool shot of Jesus and some of the disciples heading. And on the back, you've got the list of the cities that they're going. It's the Chosen World Tour. I was going to say come back out here, but I'm not going to.
Okay, I'll go.
You gonna do it okay this time?
Okay.
All right. But see, you can see it says come and see World Tour, and then it's got Bethsaida, Cana, Chorazim, Capernaum, all that stuff. And then it's got that cool, this. I'm messing with your hoodie, just doesn't seem appropriate, but it's fine. It's good.
Here, I'll do it.
Yeah. It's like that Seinfeld scene. Can I feel your material? It's very strange. No, but it looks great. So it's in hoodie form. It's a crazy night. It's in hoodie form now. It's only been in T-shirt form, just in time before it gets too hot. This is so monumentally comfortable. I'm telling you, Chosen hoodies are made out of the clouds of heaven. In fact, just the other day, I was at a restaurant, and the waiter, I was actually the manager of the restaurant, recognized me, and so he was talking about how he likes the show. His parents love the show. And he goes, I've only seen a few episodes, but my parents sent me 2 of the hoodies. That's how I got introduced to it. And oh my gosh, they are the best hoodies that I own. I'm not exaggerating. That's what he said. It's true. So Colin will hopefully have already been put up the chosengifts.com. But right now, just go to thechosengifts.com, www.thechosengifts.com. That's where you can get these hoodies and a bunch of other stuff if you want, including this handy dandy mug that I'm drinking from. Come and see mug. By the way, this I wanted to show you this. I forgot that this was even on, because when I got my hoodie, this tag was on it, and it's a sticker. And I didn't even remember that we did that. It's a sticker that you can, it's a chosen against the current sticker. You can put it on, it's a little too big for my phone, but you can put on like your laptop or whatever, or on the back of your car. Isn't that cool, Jelaine?
I love it. I didn't know either there was a sticker.
Yeah, she didn't know there was a sticker either until last week, yeah. But it's cool. And then on the back of the little sticker, it just gives you a little, you've seen the story of the Chosen told in one iconic image, 13 fish swimming against the current. It's the story of Jesus and his disciples, of course, but it can be your story too. Isn't that meaningful?
Yeah.
You're going to cry. Jillian always cries. All right, so one quick other thing I wanted to read to you before we move on, and I bring out Chris and Jelaine for the week 1 recap. I got this cool note that I think that I really liked. It's from a woman named Christy. She says, I always have a hard time getting my boys to go to sleep at night. So many reminders to go to bed. Last night around midnight, I discovered one of them not in his room. I checked his brother's room, and they were sitting in the dark on his bed watching The Chosen on a tablet. Hard to be mad. I loved that's what they wanted to do. Here's why I love that so much. First of all, I didn't expect that kids would like The Chosen. It's kind of an adult-themed show, lots of complicated plots and stuff. And I hear from parents constantly who tell me their 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8-year-old loves it. Teenagers, I just never expected. I'm so thrilled about that. So that's meaningful, of course. But I remember when I was that age, and I would read in bed or I would sneak watch television sometimes, and I never had anything like The Chosen, something that would actually, could actually have a positive, good influence on me, or have a faith, certainly not a faith-based project or movie that I could watch. And the fact that these kids are actually doing that with this show is just so cool. And so you've been such a huge part of making that happen. So thank you for that. I thought you'd enjoy hearing that note. All right, let's get a report from week 1. Have a seat. Chris and Jelaine are Chosen insiders. You have seen them, hopefully. And if you haven't, check out our YouTube channel, especially. That's the first place you'll want to check, where we have got each season we do recaps of almost every week.
Yes.
So you guys go to the set, you talk to the actors, you show footage. Because you're such a huge part of the show, we want you to know what we're doing. We want you to trust us, and you're kind of the eyes and ears. You get exclusive access. You get to see things before everyone else.
Yes.
But you're still like you're not on the cast or crew.
No.
You know, you're
I'm a nerd who is so happy he gets to be there to see this stuff as it's being made.
I'm
exactly.
just a fan who somehow snuck into the set.
Yes. Well, you're here. Both of you are here actually because you originally had your own channels anyway. You're especially popular on TikTok. You had a YouTube channel, Instagram. You both were doing stuff, and you started doing some Chosen related stuff. So good, we said let's get them out, and you guys can be the eyes and ears of you. So you have now had a chance to see inside week 1. What are some of the things that are happening?
Well, first off, Yasmin, who plays Rayma, is back. So.
Rayma's back. Remember, we lost Rayma last year. She went off to talk to her dad, about wanting a husband, and it didn't go too well, so she stuck behind while Thomas came back.
I was really sad about that.
Yeah, that was a bummer.
That was a bummer.
Yeah, when Thomas comes back, and then Nathaniel says, "Are you embarrassed?"
Are you embarrassed?
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, be quiet, Nathaniel. Not now.
So Rayma's back
Yes.
this season, and in episode 1 she comes back. I know it's a little bit of a spoiler, but not too bad.
Yeah.
And so Yasmin's back, so you get to talk to her. I mean, there's a few actors that you had a chance to talk to.
Well, we got to see like Nick and back as a
Zebedee.
Zebedee, yes.
And to see his oil business, which I cannot wait to see where that goes.
Yeah,
There's a reason it exists. I want to know that reason.
We have a few people who are really like, why are these scenes about the oil? Like, why do I care about the oil business? And I'm like, well, leaving aside the fact that they had to finance the ministry, so that's important. But obviously, we have a long-term plan. We're not just doing things randomly. So this week, you started to see a little bit more of that, of where that's going. Still not all the way. You still don't know exactly what's going to happen yet. But we've got a plan for that.
I was also impressed because there's a scene with Judas, and he's doing a mundane task. So without spoilers,
this isn't too big of a, but you can say that.
Okay.
Well, no, we don't have to talk too much about it. But it's Judas and Simon Z.
Yes.
We shot that scene, long scene, big scene between those two, an interesting, unlikely pairing.
But how a mundane task lays groundwork for Judas in the most extravagant ways is incredible to me.
Yes. And
it's almost like we're doing it intentionally. Like we have a plan.
Yes, like there's a plan and you know where everything, but I mean, come on, he was doing something mundane and I'm just like, taken in by it, like, whoa.
And the fact that he's wondering why he's doing mundane things.
Yes. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
And also, I got to see Jesus cry, and then I cried.
Yeah.
And so
you cry if I just said the words to you, Jesus cried.
No, really,
you'd start crying.
I don't cry about anything.
Yeah.
I don't cry at weddings.
Season 6.
I don't cry at funerals, but
The Chosen makes you cry.
Season
Jesus.
6. Are you gonna cry just at the mention of that?
I'm probably gonna be traumatized and cry and stare at a wall for 16 hours afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be great.
So anyway, the other thing before we show you the week 1, some footage from week 1 and some chatting with some of the actors and crew. The other place to check these two out, and one of our most important, is the after shows. So if you haven't seen those yet, you need to, and it's only in the Chosen app. You're not going to see them on YouTube. You're not going to see them on Facebook. You're not going to see them on Amazon or Peacock or Netflix or whatever. You're only going to see them in the Chosen app. So go to the Chosen app. It's easy. It's totally free. You don't even have to give your email address if you don't want to. And then after each episode, it's got its own section of after shows.
Yeah.
But you can find the after shows and watch a deep dive into each episode. So these are your Chosen insiders. They're going to be doing a lot this year. Almost every week we'll be giving you a recap, but let's check out the recap from week 1 right now.
We are back!
We're back. Ya regresamos. We're back.
We're back. It is day 1 of filming.
It's really cold.
So right now, we're getting ready to start filming the very first shot of season 4.
How excited are you to be back for season 4?
I don't know, man. I can't. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we're back here again so fast. It just feels like just yesterday.
It kind of feels like that we haven't even been gone. We're just straight back into it, literally in the scene we just shot. Kind of feels weird. It gets easier and easier to get back into it. It's just kind of weird. Feels really weird, but it feels fun.
Yeah. No, it's mainly weird.
It's surreal because it feels like we just left like yesterday.
Yeah.
And we came back, but at the same time, so much time has passed. Yeah. It feels amazing. It feels really great to reunite with everybody. It's been awesome.
Like just a family reunion, seeing everybody. And then it's nice too, because you develop such a great connection that even during the months that we've been gone, you hang out in between also if you can.
That energy, that excitement, and that familiarity that we've developed in this space over the last season, it's been good to come back to that.
I'm bored. Acting's boring. Season 4, it's I can't believe we're here.
Yes.
It was a little like 4-episode new media project in Weatherford, Texas back in 2018. And it is amazing to think about it and take inventory of how far this project has come and how much it's grown. And somehow it still maintains that indie film closeness and vibe.
75 days all have to go well. I'm optimistic. We've had a good pattern on The Chosen of things going well. Even when they don't, they end up working because this project isn't fully in my hands. Can't believe we're shooting again.
We're already here.
It's Jonathan's very first shot of season 4.
Well, we hope you really enjoyed our highlight reel of week 1.
Yes, and we've got more full recaps coming to you soon.
Wasn't that fun? I'm so glad you get a chance to see in depth what we're doing. That's important to me. We've been doing it from season 1. If you go to our YouTube channel, you can look all the way back. I mean, you can scroll down for the past couple years and see the progress of the show from, and we have a video from day 1 of filming. We've just always wanted you to be part of it because, as you know, this is a free show. The only way that we get financed is you choosing to contribute in some way to this show. The best way to contribute to the show is through the Come and See Foundation. You can do that through the app. I'll get into more of that later. But in fact, why not? Why not just go ahead and put up along the bottom right now, Colin, the website. Excuse me, I just belched. Not the best time to belch when you're trying to point out how people can support the show. But comeandsee.net, www.comeandsee.net if you want us to be able to keep making episodes and seasons. But the reason is because we believe that if we're going to give you the choice, the option to pay for the show, then you're gonna, if you want to take us up on that option, then you're going to want to know where your money's going. You're going to want to know that we're taking it seriously. Want to know that you can trust us, and we also just want you to have fun with it. So that's why we love the Chosen Insiders, Chris and Jelaine, and why you can see so much of the filming process. Now, here's another opportunity for you to not only contribute to the show, but get something really, really fun. This is our fun announcement. I think that this could be a big announcement. I usually like to save those words for something huge. This is, I would consider this on a scale of 1 to 10, like an 8, which is pretty good. We are officially doing our first Chosen Con. Now, here's what that means. It's not a great term out of context, like I'm doing a con. Okay, no, conference. It's a Chosen Insider Conference, which is where you have the opportunity over the course of 2 days to be with the cast and crew, to get selfies, to meet and greet. There's going to be panel discussion. I'm going to get into all that in just a second, but here's the thing. We're calling it Chosen Con. Like I said, when I just announced it, it sounded a little bit like we're doing our first con artist job. Hashtag Chosen Con. Here's the dates. Put this down. October 14th and 15th. Location, Dallas, Texas. Not far from where I am right now. At the Anatoly Hotel, or Anatole. I don't even know how to pronounce it. I know it's a great hotel because I drive by it. How do you pronounce it? Anatole. Yeah. I'm guessing that's the Midwest pronunciation. It's probably Anatoly. But anyway, or it's probably French. Or anyway. October 14th and 15th, Colin can put up the information if he hasn't already along the bottom of the screen. Here's how you're going to get tickets. ChosenCon2023.com. ChosenCon2023.com. www.chosencon2023.com. And I would encourage you to do it now because there is limited space. We intend to start doing this more often, and it's going to get bigger and bigger, but we wanted to first just dip our toes in the water. For this first one, there is limited space, so you are going to want to get tickets now. So we're going to have, like I mentioned, cast and crew panels. So we'll have things like the women of the Chosen talking about their experience up on stage. We'll be doing meet and greets. We're going to have a sneak peek of season 4. So by the time we do this Chosen Con, we will have already filmed all of season 4. We will have already assembled some things, and we will show you something at that conference that you will not be able to see anywhere else. We're also going to have some merchandise that's only for that conference. So you'll get to see some, I use the term merchandise. It's not merchandise, gifts, some new gifts. Colin is supposed to like spit something at me to keep me from, he's saying shame right now. Sorry. It's gifts, not merchandise. We'll have some conference only merchandise. I just did it again. Gifts. I'm sorry. And we have how do I say this? Because I can't give anything away. we're developing a new project right now. That's all I'm going to say. And at this conference, we are going to show a glimpse of that new project. That's where we will debut the glimpse of this new project. That's all I can say. We're also going to have some special guests. Now, my team told me not to tell you who the special guests are going to be yet. Because, of course, I mean, the ultimate special guests are the cast. I know that's who you really want to meet. And some of them, not all of them will be there, but a good chunk of cast will be there. And over the next couple months, we'll reveal who all is going to be there, including our special guests. But I'm just going to give one, even though they told me not to do this, because they said we need to, over time, reveal guests and stuff like that. But Levi Lesko is going to be here because it's a Saturday, Sunday, and on Sunday morning, we're going to have a service, a fun time of worship and whatnot. And we have a awesome worship artist who I can't wait to tell you about. He's already saying he's coming, but I'm not going to share that yet. But Levi Lesko is going to preach. And Levi's awesome. He did the intro for the third Chosen devotional book. He's been a guest on our live streams before. He's fantastic. So he's just one guest. We'll reveal more special guests that have already been confirmed. We'll reveal them over the next couple months. So Chosen Con 2023, your first chance to, over the course of a day or two, just have exclusive Chosen fun with other Chosen fans. We've done opportunities to be an extra. We've done things like that, which opportunities to see a premiere. But this is a more dedicated time where it's primarily focused on hanging together and giving you a lot of fun and entertainment and some depth too. Like one of the things we're really wanting to do, for example, is get our Bible Roundtable guys together, and we'll, to do maybe a live recording of something like that. So lots of cool stuff. So ChosenCon 2023, going to be awesome. So right now, go to that website if you haven't yet, and if you can't, if you don't want to, if it's not, that's fine too. But I think this is going to be pretty cool. So do it if you are passionate about it. Now is the time. All right. What we have next is this video that I am super excited about. I saw the first draft of it a few weeks ago, and it wasn't going to be ready for this live stream. That was the assumption. We were just going to release it as a cool video, maybe in the app or something. And I said, as soon as I saw the first draft, I was like, okay, this is so cool, so fun. So I think the fans are going to love this so much. If you were impacted by the Walking on Water scene in any way, or if you're interested in how the sausage gets made, this is going to impact you. And it's really, really cool. It's the first time. I mean, you've seen glimpses on social media of like how we did some of this, but we're going to get into the conception of it, the actual filming of it. You're going to hear from the cast and some of the crew, and also why we did it. Because if you remember, I wasn't planning on doing the scene. I was insistent that I wasn't going to do the scene. You're going to hear why we ultimately decided to do it. But when I saw this, I said, you know what, we need to show this as soon as we can. Let's show it on the live stream. And so we executed some notes. We tightened it. We made it it's just terrific. And so at the end of this video, I'm going to be coming back on. I've got a couple more things to share with you that are pretty cool. So don't go anywhere. But I'd love to show you this right now. This is called, I don't know what the name of it is. I think it's called Walking on Water, the unexpected finale of season 3. Check this out. This is gonna be awesome right now.
I couldn't believe that we were going there and that we were going to be trying to capture that on film.
My mouth dropped when we were going to do that.
Wait a minute, boys.
Thank you so much.
The word is intense. It was scary.
That's an experience I will never forget for the rest of my life.
We're in it, man. This is an adventure now.
It feels big. It feels epic.
I was going back and forth between this is going to be awesome and this is going to be a complete disaster. It was an absolute roller coaster.
Roll sound. Let's make it right.
Isn't that cool? I love watching that. I have watched it many times. It takes me back to the both the pain and the joy of it. And I love you getting a chance to see how that happens, because there's a method to all this madness. And I hope that seeing that gives you a glimpse of what it's like to put some of this stuff together, and the why and the how, and ultimately, though, the what, because ultimately I actually shouldn't say it that way. There's the what. It's ultimately the who, who we're telling this story about and who we're telling this story for. I'm going to unapologetically mention that video and that scene never could have been done in seasons 1 or 2. No chance, because obviously we weren't able to afford something like that. And the fact that we were able to do it for season 3 not only came at a time when it was important for the story, but it came at a time when you had chosen enough times to pay it forward at the time, or in this case now the opportunity to donate to the Come and See Foundation. But the choice to contribute to this show financially, even when you don't have to, is what allows us to each year get a little bigger. I don't want to necessarily say better, because I think we're still the same filmmakers that we were in season 1, and the stories are I don't think we're writing necessarily better than we were. I don't know. I hope so, because we're hopefully getting better all the time as artists. But there are some things that we can't do without more resources, and we're starting to get a little bit more resources each season. But combined with the fact that each season the show gets more expensive, not just because of things like what you just saw, not just because of the need to kind of keep building the show and getting it to the place where it can compete and line up with other shows that are competing for eyeballs. You know, there are some people who aren't necessarily going to watch this show no matter what. Some of them are going to want to know that it holds up to the standards of the kinds of shows they normally watch. And so we want to keep doing that. We want to keep competing. But also, you know, this show takes upwards of 5 months per year just of the cast and crew and production. It takes year round for our employees and for other, you know, the production team. But the cast and crew, at least 4 to 5 months per year. And that's a lot of time to be either away from your family, or a lot of time to be working where you're not available for other jobs. And so over the course of time, we have to pay them too, to make sure that, you know, we can have this team, this amazing team that you love so much. And 7 years of this, well, it's actually more, it's going to end up being more than 7 years, but 7 seasons of this, 4 to 5 months per season, is a lot to ask. And I'm just going to mention that you know, if you want to contribute to the show, if you're capable of contributing to the show, comeandsee.net. Comeandsee.net is where you do that. It's easy to do. I don't love mentioning it, because again, it makes me feel like I'm asking you for something, but I don't also mind saying, look, this is a free show. And when it's free, it's obviously much more difficult to finance and get the resources. And less than 5% of those who watch the show ever pay anything for it. And that stat may sound depressing, but on the other hand, it's actually encouraging, because I go, boy, think of how many people are able to watch it for free because of you. But so if you're able to do that, that'd be great. And it allows us to keep doing things like what you just saw and telling more stories. And when we get to some of the stories in the future, Holy Week, for example, and then there's even some really big scenes this season, season 4 coming up, some big scenes that take place in some locations that we don't have, we have to create. And that takes a lot of resources. And I just would love to keep that impact going. So before I let you go tonight, I just wanted to mention that, but also close with this, this note that we got from a woman named Juliana. This also speaks to the fact that the show is expanding. And what's interesting is that she mentions, I'll get to this in just a second, so let me read you this note. The subject line of the email is, I only saw God when I needed him, but, and then she says in the email, today I see him 24/7. And thank you for this amazing gift that no money can buy. Now, to make the gift, of course, we need money, but the impact is where it's not about the finances. The money that you contribute is a tool towards this. I have been debating whether I should share my stories with you. Would my story be one of many you heard? Would you be sick of hearing it over and over again? I want to be mindful of your time so you can spend your precious time filming and changing lives. Very kind. I was born and raised Catholic, which I'm always proud of. However, my parents divorced when I was about 8 years old, and I was left to stay with my grandparents. I have 14 uncles and aunties, over 100 plus cousins. Yes, crazy. Things got not very friendly when you have no parents around. I lived in a verbally abusive environment for 10 plus years. The only place I felt safe was the church. My only parent is God. And then she says, I am Chinese from Malaysia, if you are curious, which I was. Then I forgot about God because things were good here. I got a fantastic job, a wonderful husband, a set of the cutest children ever, and a group friend I called family. Until once again, my life turned upside down, which seriously, I never complained, but danced with it because I believe God had his plan. My eldest daughter, born with half a heart, underwent 3 open heart surgeries in her first 3 years. I tell you, it was awful. She is 15 today and still facing multiple life-threatening medical challenges. My awesome blossom husband, I'm not sure what that means. Maybe it's a Malaysian term, awesome blossom. Husband, a very talented video game artist, was diagnosed with a brain tumor 7 years before he passed about 3.5 years ago. I also got diagnosed with stage 1 thyroid cancer, which I didn't tell anyone except my husband. I was terrified, not because of death, but for my young children. Thank you, God, for helping me catch it early on. I am all good now. She's been through quite a bit. Prayed for strength, and I prayed God heard me, gave me all I needed, and I survived through all of that. But I got so mad at him when my husband was diagnosed for the second time and passed 3 years later. I stopped praying, stopped going to church, and stopped talking. Honestly, I was ashamed of all of that. It wasn't so fun to be a single mom with 2 children, especially one who needed so much medical attention. So then I started to pray again. See, this is very common for us, and sometimes I fall victim to this. It's happened with me with the show. We so often need things with this show, and that's when I feel like I'm most desperate, and when I pray the most, and then things start going well, and then I start to forget a little bit what got us here. This letter helps. I was only praying when I needed God. I knew it was bad. I saw my pattern. So I searched, and I tried to look for something that could help me understand what God needs from me fully. I watched many biblical movies and documentaries, and honestly, seeing those actors misportraying Jesus agitated me. Of course, who am I to judge what Jesus was like? But I need to figure out why and how. I just knew who Jesus would be like 2,000 years ago, but I couldn't see it. The Chosen kept popping up in my Prime Video window. Isn't that interesting? That's what I was telling you about. The Chosen is now expanding, and it's on Prime, Amazon Prime. It's on the season 1, at least, on Netflix, on Peacock. So this is an opportunity for you to tell your friends, but she was able to find it there. So not everyone's going to find the new app. You have yet to learn how many times I tried to skip it. And I thought, it's just another show. It was right in my face for months, and I finally gave in. Astonishing, mind-blowing, shocking, overwhelming, saddening. So much feeling, so few words. That was the best decision I had ever made in years. That's the Jesus I've known since I was born. Those are the parables I've tried to get since I was 12, but I understood none of it. Believe it or not, I even slept with my Bible next to me, hoping that I would get it when I got up in the morning, but no luck. Dallas, you opened my eyes and connected me with the Lord Jesus Christ again, and now the Bible is even more clear. Today, now, this moment, I have a better understanding of who I am and what God wants from me. I pray every day with all my heart. I pray even when I do not need help, but I pray to God to thank God for all the blessings He has been giving me. The Chosen is my blessing. Can't wait for more, but I'm also afraid because I don't want to be reminded of the pain Jesus endured on the cross coming up in season 6. Spoiler alert. Makes me cry every time I think about that moment in his life. But I know wholeheartedly that we all need that reminder of why Jesus was here. And then she goes on to say, thank you to us and to you for making the show possible. Thank you, Juliana, for that note. Thank you for watching tonight. Thank you for being supportive of the show. We've got so much more to come. I will see you probably in a month or so, but you can keep tuning in to YouTube, Facebook, and the Chosen app to get all the behind the scenes. And also, don't forget the new hoodie, if I can turn it around here, I can't really show it very well. The Come and See World Tour hoodie. First time this hoodie is available, and it's at thechosengifts.com, www.thechosengifts.com. Remember, it's not your job to feed the 5,000. It is only to provide the loaves and fish. See you soon.
I felt as Matthew that I was just nervous around you. So you could see me stutter, or like you would be like, take an olive, Matthew. And Matthew's like, okay. Like, so it's interesting to hear that.
Hey, this is Chris.
And I'm Jelaine, and we are your chosen insiders, and this is The After Show.
Every time a brand new episode of The Chosen drops, The After Show is our opportunity to talk about that amazing episode because, it's The Chosen. We're going to need to talk about it. We're going to be talking to the cast, we're going to be talking to the writers, to the producers, and Dallas himself, he's going to be popping in from time to time as we dig even deeper into what we just watched.
I'm going to argue that.
And all of this available exclusively on the brand new Chosen app, so download it now because it's free.
This is the love note in his word that he leaves for each of us. So it's like, this is how Jesus interacts with his children, his littles, and how he interacts with all of us.
It is here. It is finally here. In fact, I hope it doesn't disappear into my sweatshirt. A slightly different shade, but this is the children's book, Jesus Loves Little Children, based on episode 3 of The Chosen. And you two have been working on this for a really long time because not only does it take time to write, it takes time to illustrate. So
it takes a really long time.
My wife, Amanda, who did the bulk of the writing based on the reason that we're both credited here is because obviously it's based on episode 3, which I had the privilege of writing. And you tailored it into a book that children could enjoy, and I think adults as well. And Kristen is not just a writer. You know Kristen as the co-writer of the Chosen devotional, but she's also an artist.
She's a fantastic artist.
Fantastic artist. And so this is your work right here. And all of these, I'm going to let you guys show some of this as we talk, but look at all these illustrations. I'm going backwards here, but really have taken this episode and put it in a different context, maintaining the spirit, of course, of the episode so that kids can enjoy it as much or more as they do the episode. Each of you guys will get your own copy as a reward. As a reward for writing this. So talk about the process. Talk about what was your inspiration for this style of artistry. Can you somehow describe what was behind the look of this book?
I actually had a children's book when I was little that I remember exactly what the faces looked like. It was that impactful. I'm a visual person, and it was sweet, and I just remember staring at Jesus's face and just really like combing through those illustrations, and I thought, oh gosh, like how do you do that? How do you create something that where littles are gonna like this could be their first interaction with Jesus? And so I just started by wanting him to be kind.
What was your favorite part to draw?
Well, there's a full spread of Jesus's camp scene. And so I thought that was kind of fun because I just can picture little kids like finding all his little treasures and his things. Towards the end of the book, Jesus leaves Abigail this note. When I was drawing it, I had an emotional reaction to it because I have an emotional reaction now. Because he writes to her, he says, "Dear Abigail, I'm going now to do my work in other places, but I'll miss hearing you talk. I made this for you. You and your friends were the reason I came." And I just think this is this love note that like Jesus left for Abigail, and this is the love note in his word that he leaves for each of us. So it's like, this is how Jesus interacts with his children, his littles, and how he interacts with all of us. And it's like I could just picture myself. That's like kind of how I feel like this little kid, like reading God's word, that this is this awesome treasure and this gift that he's left for all of us.
Yeah, so as you remember from episode 3, the children are asking Jesus questions, and Abigail at one point says, "What is your reason for being here?" She says that in the episode, and Jesus gives this long quote from Scripture, actually, quote from Isaiah. And so we include some of
That's
that
in there too, yeah.
in this,
Mm-hmm.
but as you read this book with your children, or as your children read this book, I think that's something to really pay attention to and to spotlight, is that the message that Jesus writes to Abigail is a message that he writes to us now, and especially to children now. So was there a spot in the writing of it that you really enjoyed? Like just thought, this is a moment from the episode that I think works really well for a children's book.
Yeah, I love Abigail's mouth. I mean, I just love her motor mouth.
One of my favorite moments to write in the episode was that question and answer session between Abigail and Jesus. And I remember writing it just like, what are the kinds of questions a kid would say and just how blunt she would be and just boom, 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 boom. And he's just answering them, Jesus is playing along. Jesus is like, all right, let's do this. You want to ask me some questions? I'll answer them. And then at the end, of course, she just says, all right, gotta go, bye. Bye. But yeah, you
Yeah.
show that page how
Yeah.
that was illustrated.
So it's so cute how Kristen laid this out because, on the one hand, we have the little questioner, and then on the other hand, we have Jesus who's answering the questions. And so she asks, and then you follow the little train to his answer, and you just see how patient he is with her because she just keeps going and going and going. But I loved the end of it because when she says, okay, time to go, Jesus is laughing at her because Abigail talked a lot. We say that a number of times in the book, Abigail talked a lot. My favorite page that I was thinking of when you asked me, my favorite is this one, where Abigail is just dragging Joshua to go see Jesus, and she's just talking his ear off. This is all just Abigail talking, not even waiting for Joshua to respond to her queries. Just love it. Love her little mouth.
Yeah, so let me have this copy. So, Jesus Loves Little Children, a chosen story. One of, I would say, the top 3 most impactful things to me as this show has evolved over the last couple of years, and as it has grown to have impact around the world, is the impact that it's had on kids. I did not expect this show to appeal to anyone under the age of 12, but 5, 6, 7-year-olds have watched all 8 episodes, and repeatedly. I don't get it. I don't understand it. When you make a show that's just about Jesus and you strip it down to its barest essence, clearly something happens. Walls are removed and eyes are opened, and children have been understanding it. And so we want to give them an opportunity to maybe go a little deeper, for even younger kids to have a connection to the show, and we thought a children's book would be a great way to do that. Hopefully this will be something that has a legacy that lasts as long as the show, that years from now people can still read the story with their kids, and the message of it, which is that the reason that Jesus came is us.